always like that awkward countdown, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's like,
well,
what the hell?
we've it's time 2 now, so it's more than just
Mm-hmm.
we're more than the Baha Men. We're more than I'm trying to think of some other one-hit wonders. Lust.
Hanson?
Oh no, Hanson's a banger band. They had way more hits than
Do
just
they have
Mbop.
more than Mbop?
You would be
Really?
surprised. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Well, I stand corrected, I
Let's
guess.
go with less ketchup instead of.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I mean, but if you're going to have one song,
Yeah, the ketchup song's
I
really
mean,
one of them. Or steps
man,
in
that's
5,
not,
6, 7,
that's
8.
not what I was. Oh, banger. Yeah, now you're speaking my language. This is like music I want to hear when I briefly go out once a year. That's what I want to hear.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's what you want to hear.
We, last week, we were like, who knows what's going to happen? Maybe we'll never do this again. Who really knows? But, guys, we're even so committed that we're not even recording on the original day that we're like, we're free on this day. Let's do it this time. We're even working around our schedules now. Like,
Yeah.
this is, we're legit now, I guess.
Yeah, legit. Too legit to quit, I guess. Like, yeah, we're a Sasha Banks t-shirt at the moment for all of our wrestling fans out there.
R.I.P. Sasha Banks. Somewhere she lives in the archives of WWE.
Yeah, Mercedes Moné maybe now, and her weird hair. But yeah,
Listen, if you could pull it off, you'd do it too. So
Yeah,
let's
I
be
would.
honest.
Yeah, if I could pull off her look, I would.
Yeah, me too.
So we chatted. We're going to do things a little bit differently today. So let's hit the random number generator today first. We'll have our first brief look at the question, and then we'll talk about some other stuff that's been going on in our lives and revisit it at the end if we feel necessary. Mm-hmm. All right, so the number for today is number 92. So
92.
Yeah.
What do I know about the number 92, Ray? What is significant to me with the number 92? I hope I don't live that long. Not to be too depressing, but like, I don't want to be alive at 92 years old.
No,
It seems like a great time.
92
The life
was,
I live, I don't want to live until 92.
92 was the year that my sister was born, so my only child status went out of the window.
Yeah, I'm a middle child, Ray, so don't even try it with me on that one.
Well, there's a story for another day about how I'm not actually the eldest anymore, but that's a deep dive into a story about my family life.
That's when Ray and Josh know each other a little better. We don't.
I can tell you, but it's probably a bit deep for this part of the conversation.
What's the question, Ray?
The question is, this one might actually take us a bit of time, so it might be good to revisit at the end and give us something to think about. But show us something in your space. Hang on, what did it say? Show us something in your space that you really like. So there might need to be a bit of pause to the recording. And
No, I think
grab
I've got
something.
stuff behind me that I have. I have stuff behind me because I'm like, you can see I've got like a football and stuff there. There's Rory Laird is sitting there if you didn't realize. He's been through some, actually, this isn't something that I really love, but let me tell you about a story about this little guy, all right? So I have had this bobblehead of Rory Laird for, I don't know, a few years now. I have dropped him so many times. You're not going to be able to see, for anyone not watching this on YouTube, I invite you to youtube.com/Josh Robinson00. But he has been glued back together so many times. He has like weird marks on the bottom because like I've tried to shove him back together. He's broken off at his feet like 4 or 5 times. I don't know. But I love Rory Laird. So any Crows fans out there or just football fans in general, Rory's my guy, if anyone wonders. But yeah, his head doesn't bobble as much anymore because he's fallen on his head. So he's been through the ringer, this little guy. So there you go. That's not the answer to my question, but I just thought I'd bring that up.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm going to have to think of something because if you are watching, behind me is a cavity of nothing at the moment. I've got to do something about my background, but I'm going to have a think while we chat about our respective weeks and see if I can bring something to the table. Something
And
that
I'll
I
think
really
of something
like.
too, because I don't know if I have something here or like it might be something else.
Or
But
I actually-
what is it? Something in your space that you really love. It could be
Yeah.
anything.
I've got just the thing. I'm gonna
Great.
even text my girlfriend who's watching TV on the couch and
Hell
ask
yeah.
her to bring it to me so that we can get straight into it afterwards. So how's your week? How's your weekend? Tell me about it.
Girl. Well, I am a person that finds a lot of. I think I said this last week. I may have said this last week on the show. Maybe I didn't, but I find a lot of like solace in being on my own. I kind of like it. I kind of vibe it. I find a lot of relaxation of being like, I'm going home to just me, a TV, my computer, music, just something. I can just not have to really rely on anyone else. However, there is not all the time, but I do like to be like, I'm going to go away for the weekend. I'm going to go stay at a friend's. I went and stayed at a friend's. I seen multiple friends. We had a little bit of a board game night, which I know sounds like old man things to do,
Hell
but
yeah.
that's fun.
So
Like
good.
Mario Kart, we did some stuff. We did some like Cards Against Humanity. We watched some footy. It was just a good time. We had some pizza. It wasn't anything like that you would like be like, oh, it was this one particular thing that was just so amazing and exciting. It would make you do cart. It was just like hanging around with friends for a night. Actually, the whole day, I like. Everyone, I don't give away my exact location, but I don't live in Adelaide. It's a little bit out of Adelaide, so it's a little bit of a hike to get to Adelaide sometimes. But like I went up there for the day and just like hung around and just like I watched a bunch of wrestling with a friend. Like it was just like a good time. Just like I don't know. So that was my weekend. Other than that, it's just working my job, making some money, Ray. Really nothing too crazy. But yeah, I had a nice weekend. It's like footy's in a good spot. We're in finals season, so like most games everyone kind of is watching because like people are just like, yeah, it's finals. They're always good games. So yeah, just good vibes, good people, just a good weekend.
Yeah, definitely. I actually spoke to said friend that you were watching wrestling with, and he has deep dived right back to 2006 at this stage. So you've got him.
I'm getting lots of
right
Snapchats
involved.
from shout out to Ben. We don't have to give away his last name or anything, but everyone knows Ben if you know the project. Yeah, he's Snapchatting me all day. He's like, remember this? I'm like, Ben, of course I remember this. I'm the reason you're watching all of this.
Yes, we do, Ben. We do.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so. I had my son this weekend, and turned pretty funny because on Sunday I played in the RecLink Community Cup. So it's a charity football game for RecLink Australia, who do sporting programs for underprivileged kids, get them involved in sports and teams
Fuck
and
yeah.
stuff like that. So it was Adelaide Media, so the Anchors, which the team I was on, versus the Rockatoos, which is a bunch of musicians.
That is a
from
great name, though. I know
Yeah.
you're not on that team, but that is a wonderful name for a team.
It is a great name, and it was a great bunch of people. It was really fun. I'm way too unfit for any of that sort of nonsense to go on right now. I did not do well, but my son came with me, and my beautiful partner didn't babysit. She had all four of the boys. There was kids' activities there, face painting, jumping castles, whatnot. But my son is obsessed with football and even more obsessed with winning.
Oh,
And
relatable.
yeah, sat there sulking that my team wasn't winning for the first half. And then likes to bring up every time that we speak about it that I lost because he doesn't lose.
Ooh, that probably hits too. Are you competitive, Ray? Are you
No.
quite the competitive bit? Ooh,
Nah,
we're
not
different on
really.
that. I am unlovably competitive. It gets to the point where if I lose, I sulk. If I win, I'll never let you hear the end of it. It's bad.
Yeah, there was a point where I went to run off with the ball, took a bounce, went to take another bounce, and I dropped the ball, fumbled it. Another player picked it up and kicked it to their forward line, and
Oofed.
I fell onto the ground, and my son was leaning on the fence right next to it, just shaking his head in disappointment. Just like,
I'd be doing the same. I'd be there right there with him. I'd be like, come on, Ray.
I was
You're
like,
embarrassing us all.
it won't be the last time I disappoint you. Don't worry.
Well.
Yes.
That's awesome. Now you're off to Sydney this week or
Yes, I
tomorrow, as time of recording. By the time this airs, you'll already be gone and back.
Back and yes. But true to my word that we spoke about last week, I have not packed yet. That's tomorrow's job. Tomorrow morning, I got to go to work in the morning and then leave from work to the airport. So that seems like a tomorrow morning Ray's problem. Not right now.
Oh, I'd be stressed. I wouldn't be able to record this show. I'd be like, I'm sorry, but I've got to pack. Man, I had a weekend away, like I said, in Adelaide. That's an hour and a bit away from me. And I was packed Thursday night. Like I had my bags packed. I made sure everything. I still forgot stuff. Yeah. I couldn't. But like, happy Sydney, I guess.
I mean, so there's some really funny stories that happened today. Well, just like one story that happened today. So I'm going with a couple of guys from work. One of the guys that I share an office with, for anonymity and for the sake of the story, I'm going to call him Rod, just like his parents did. And he is not very adventurous when it comes to food, travel. He's very set in his ways. Let's call him that. You know, like a guy that's going on 50 is. And so the deal with us going away tomorrow is we fly to Sydney. The people that are taking us over to Sydney to show us their products are taking us out for dinner. Then they're going to give us a whole training session. So they sent us the itinerary today and they were like, we're going to this restaurant, this Indian restaurant for dinner. And he has had an absolute meltdown. Just going, I don't eat spicy food. I can't eat that. It's all spicy food. I can't eat spicy food. I'm like, it's not spicy food. He's like, it's all curry and stuff. I'm like, yeah, it's not all spicy. He's like, it says right here, spiced. And I'm like, spiced doesn't mean spicy. There's a difference here. He's like, well, what does it mean then? And he just like freaked out. And he just called me before to see how much luggage we could take. And I'm like, we're going for one night. I'm taking a backpack. I haven't packed it yet. And he's like, well, how am I supposed to? I'm like, it's 7 kilos. We're going for one night. He's like, oh, how am I supposed to pack everything with 7 kilos? And I'm like, how much do you think clothes weigh? And he's like, oh, I just don't even know. And then he sent me a video. He ended up getting his wife to pack for him.
I mean, I don't mean to sympathize with Rod here, but I would be the same. Even if I was going for one night, I wouldn't be able to just take a backpack and be happy with that.
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
I overpack though. I'm a noted overpacker, but
I'm one of the most vain people you'll ever meet in your life. I've got a collection of 25 different pairs of sneakers. I've got clothes that I can't even deal with. When it comes to that stuff, I'm like super vain. But when it comes to packing or anything like that, I just go into a bag. It'll be fine.
oh my god! Did you? You were never like we talked about Jersey Shore last week. I think up somewhere or someone. You're not like a Jersey Shore person, were you?
Nah.
Well, there's a scene in like in the very first episode of that show, of that series, and Angelina walks in with a garbage bag with all her stuff in it, and she just says, they're like, what are you doing? And she's like, I've got my stuff.
Yeah, no,
There's
not
Ray.
quite that bad. Like, I'll put it in a nice bag.
All right.
But like, I'm as vain as they come, but I'm just so laid back that there's no need to pack now. Or overpack, because I'm like,
a bit stressed.
I'm like, we'll go there and I'll be wearing clothes there. And I've got to wear clothes on the day after. So all I got to take is a change of clothes to go out to dinner in.
Oh, I'm happy for you. I'll put it that way. I'm very happy for you in that sense, because no way in hell I would take so many. I would go for a night and take 4 pairs of underwear just in case.
Oh, you got to do that just in case you're like, I don't know, get it.
What about if you shit your pants?
Exactly right. You never know when diarrhea is going to take.
As
Okay.
as a person who has like the greatest stomach in the world, you always got to prepare for literally that shit.
Yeah, that's right. Like, don't wear a nappy
I'm not
around or
saying I
anything.
poo myself, by the way. This sounds like I'm just pooing myself on a daily basis.
Yeah.
No, I don't poo myself ever. But you have to be prepared just in case you do poo yourself.
Yeah, you got to be prepared. You don't have to go so far as to wear a nappy everywhere, but just on
Sure.
the just on the unlikely chance that it happens, you've got to be take into account. I get that. That's completely different. But like, I only need one pair of jeans and shirt. The shoes is
I
going
need
to take me the
options.
longest to
I
pack.
need I need options, Ray. Yeah, I don't we're very different people on that because I'm just I like I said though, I'm to the extreme of an overpacker though. Like I've gone on trips and taken 2 toothbrushes before just in case.
Yeah, right. Just in case
Yeah,
what?
it's bad. I lose one.
It falls down the toilet. I don't know.
I You never know when tragedy will strike, and I'll be like, "Oh no!" And then I'm like, "Wait a minute, thanks." 2 days ago, Josh, when you packed a second toothbrush.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Worst case scenario, I can just go to the 7-Eleven and get a toothbrush.
I suppose in somewhere like Shitney, you would find
Yeah.
somewhere.
Exactly.
I know this is. I'm sorry to anybody that's from Sydney. I don't mean to disrespect your wonderful city, but I've been there once, and that's enough.
I have a theory about places like that. So I have a theory that the bigger the destination tourist wise, the ruder the people.
True, absolutely,
And
absolutely. That's 100% the case.
and I think it's all because they have to deal with tourists all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I live in a tourist hotspot. Okay,
Yeah.
so where I am in the world is beaches, it's caravan parks, it's where everyone comes from in school holidays. Everyone comes down from cities and they like to stay here. God knows why. There's nothing to do, but like everyone comes here. When I used to work retail, I would see every damn person that would walk through this town. I would see them, thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And the day went on, the ruder I got. Trust me.
Yeah.
It's just because you don't. I'm so like. Listen, I see the same people every day, but for that 2 week period every 10 weeks when it's school holidays, when it's Christmas time, I would want to backhand everybody I see, including the people that live here. I was done. So I actually subscribe to that big time.
yeah, so the rudest places I've ever been in the world, Paris, you can understand everyone there's
Ooh.
rude as, but there's tourists everywhere. So, and the other one was New York City. Tourists everywhere.
Are you a well-traveled gent? Have you traveled a lot?
I've been through the US. I've been to a few places in the US. I've been through Europe. I've been to, Paris, Italy, London. I've been to Copenhagen, Austria. Or Copenhagen and Austria. Copenhagen's not in Austria. And I've been to Fiji and Thailand and
Yeah, you're well-traveled. I am not. I've never been outside of this country.
Oh, right.
I haven't even been everywhere in this country. I'm like one of those, so I am, everyone's going to be like, oh, Josh, you're fake. I'm not actually even a South Australian, though. I mean, I will say that. I wasn't born in this state. I was born in New South Wales, but kind of. But when I say kind of, I was born in Broken Hill, so
it's
does it
pretty
count?
much Adelaide, really, isn't it? You get everything.
It's the
from
same
South
time
Australia.
zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's in the middle of nowhere. Then I moved closer to Sydney, and then I moved over here, and I've been in South Australia since I was like 6, 7. So like I'm South Australian, but I wasn't technically born here, in this state. But I consider myself a South Aussie. But yeah, it took me a long time to really get out of South Australia for a long time. When I was like old enough, like I went to I did like the Gold Coast trip that everybody does at some point in their life. And then it took me a long time to even get to like a different state other than those two though. Like it took me a long time to get to Melbourne.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
I was like in my 20s.
I love going
And
to
then
Melbourne.
Sydney was I love Melbourne to bits. It's like, I know it sounds weird to describe a city this way, but Melbourne is such a clean place. I find it very clean and urban and modern, and like for some reason I don't feel unsafe. I don't know why. but I'm just walking around, and like the same amount of people are out at 2 a.m. as 2 p.m. It's just something very just like, I find it calming.
Okay.
Some people probably call me crazy like that, but yeah, I love Melbourne. I'm going to Melbourne in a few months. Can't wait.
You do
But yeah, because
find
I haven't
that
been since before.
you do find
Yeah,
that
go on.
about some cities. Like I've found some cities I've been to, been like, oh god, like everything in here is just making me on edge. Like I hate this so much. Like Paris was like that. Rome to an extent because it's so touristy and pickpockety and dangerous.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, Sydney made me feel like that though.
yeah,
Sydney made me feel like that. I was walking around like, "Ugh,
yeah.
get me out of here. Like, ugh.
But then there's other places like I love going to Melbourne. There's something I find quite nice, and Nashville, Tennessee was another place where I just felt very calm. Like I'm quite an anxious person in social situations, like that I'm not comfortable in. I guess I mean like a bar or a whatever because I'm not a big
Oh,
drinker.
same.
But there was something about just being in Nashville where I was like, okay, I just feel very calm and at peace right now. I'm not like looking over my shoulder all the time. I'm not filled with anxiety.
So constant. Like,
Yeah.
I'm very much like, if I go out to a pub or like a club or anything like that, I'm constantly just like looking around, like, what's around me? Who's around me? Is someone looking at me?
Yeah.
What's going on? Like, I'm very much like that. It takes me a minute to like get settled and
Yeah.
just kind of like relax a little bit. But yeah, Melbourne's a place like that where I wasn't like that. I think it's because you've got like the Yarra River and stuff like nearby, and it's like beautiful to look at, and like, I don't know, there's just something just so like, and there's just always something going on. There's always
Yeah.
something to do. Like, no matter really what, and you have lots of cafes, and I'm a bit of a cafe nut. Like,
Yeah.
I like to walk around and just walk in a lane, and you're like, hell yeah, this is great. Adelaide isn't like that. I know we live kind of like, that's our city, you know what I mean? So we can kind of talk as much crap about it as we want. But like, Adelaide is a street, and there's nothing to do in that street in the city anyway. So, but I feel like Adelaide has its. You got to like explore Adelaide to find something like, oh, this is what Adelaide offers. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people talk a lot of crap about Adelaide. It is a bit of a boring city, I will say that. But shout out to Adelaide. I guess we like it.
Yeah.
somewhat.
I mean, it's not the worst place to live, I guess.
Yeah, that's how I look at it.
It's like, yeah.
There's
it's
much
like
worse.
as glowing a marketing report as you could give it, isn't it? It's better than Sydney.
It's not too crap.
Yeah,
That's how I kind of state Adelaide. Have you always been an Adelaide boy?
No. So
Okay.
I was born here in Adelaide. I then, at about 7 or so, moved to Darwin.
Oh.
Was in Darwin for a couple of years, then moved to country Queensland on the border of Queensland and New South Wales. And then moved back to Adelaide when I was about 11, maybe. So I
Okay.
had like 3 or 4 years in different states and then moved back here, and that's been it, really.
I don't know if I'll be here for the rest of my life, but I'd like to get away. Like I said, I've never been overseas. I've never been really one to be like, hell yeah, let's travel. But like Canada, ooh, I'd love to do Canada. I don't know
I'd like
what
to
it
get
is
to
about
Canada
that place.
one day. I want to
Yeah,
go back
Canada
to
just seems like a good time.
the US. I loved the US so much. And parts of Europe. Really love parts of Europe. Other parts, no good. But yeah, I mean, parts of Asia don't really excite me at all. I'd love to get to Japan one day, maybe. My sister just got back from Japan and it looked pretty epic. But it's harder to travel now with all the kids because it gets quite punchy in the pocket. But, I mean, I'm very lucky to have done as much as I did. I would have loved to have done more and more and more. I just love it so much. There's so many places that I still want to get to and see.
As someone with not a lot of money, I'm scared that I'd get the travel bug and then I'll be able to stop and then never have any money, which I don't have any money now. But like, I would That's the part that scares. One of those things that you're like, I don't have any interest in doing that. Then you start doing it, and you're like, oh,
I
that's all I want to do now.
I always had quite an interest to do it, but then I started, and it's just a different beast. I just love it so much. Just like, I think it gives you a perspective, like just on life and how different people live and how big the world is and how, I don't know, not insignificant it is, but like you never feel more far away from home than in a place where the street signs aren't in English. Like,
Yeah, whoa.
because when you go to Thailand and stuff like that, it's so touristy that they have like English on there.
Yeah.
But when you go, like, when I first got to Denmark and you're going to a place where like everything's in a different language, it's all written in a different language. It's -3 degrees. It's only sunlight for about 5 hours a day. And you're like...
What?
And the other thing about Denmark is, like, when I first got there is, if you go to, say you go to Bali in Thailand, they know you're a tourist. Just because genetics, you don't look like them. But you go to Denmark or something like that, you look like them. They start talking to you in Danish because why wouldn't they? They're in Denmark. And you just feel so like, oh my God, I'm out of my depth here. I don't know how to talk to you. I don't know how to communicate. I was so far away from home. And then, like, they're really nice people over there. So you're just like, oh, sorry. And they're like, oh, sorry. And then they'll speak to you in English. But yeah, you never feel more far away from home. And in some ways, that's exhilarating.
It's like the land of unknown almost. You're like, what's going to happen on the end of this conversation?
Yeah,
well, if I have
exactly.
one. Yeah.
Like, I'm currently talking to someone that we've just lived completely different lives. Like, who knows what they've, It's just, perspective on the world, I think, is what travel really gives you. And
Yeah,
getting
I
to
feel
those
like I do need to
places
do it, but...
getting to the places that, aren't the Bali, the Thailand,
where everyone goes. Like, it's always like someone is in Bali. Like,
and don't get me
I'm
wrong,
sure it'd be
those
relaxing.
holidays, they have a place. Don't get me wrong at all. Like, sometimes it's cheaper to go for a 10-day vacation to Thailand than it is to go to Melbourne for 5 days. So
You're telling me.
that's
Trust me.
fine.
I looked at the flights and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Let's get out of here. Like,
You get
it's crazy how that happens. But
you get a villa with a pool. Get out of it. It's 32 degrees and you're in the pool all the time. Stop it. But, there's something to be had about a holiday where you're very far from home. And just living life, seeing what the world has to offer.
I feel like I need to live my life a little bit more. I'm always that person that's like, I want to do these things, and then I never do any of it, and I just do the same thing every day. Which, I mean, there is comfort in that, and I like doing shit like that, but also, I guess I'm not getting any younger, and I'm just going to regret it when I'm older. My mum always tells me, she's like, do these things while you're young, because when you're older, you won't want to do them, and then you'll regret it, because you'll be like, now I'm too old to do anything. Not that I really think that is the case, but I guess in some respects, mum's just trying to, she has regrets in life where she's like, I should have done this when I was 20 instead of wanting to do it when I'm 50.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now she has responsibilities and stuff. She's like, you truly are living in a point in your life where you don't have a lot of... I have nothing to worry about. Like, I could get up and go to a different country tomorrow and I have no one relying on me. And I mean that in a good way. I don't mean that in a horrible way. But, like, I just got to worry about myself. So there is a little part of me that's like, I should travel. But also... it's expensive to live. So
yeah. It's not for everyone. Like, I don't, it's a big part of I guess, what's made me who I am. But I guess it's not for everyone. Like, I mean, yeah, I guess it also, yeah, I don't know. It's just something that I've loved and love more every time I do it. So it's like, but there is something to be said about 15-hour plane rides and stuff like that, which can get stuff sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not a good flyer. I'm quite the opposite. I'm not a great. I just don't listen. I'm not like against going on a plane, but also I don't think we should be up that high in the air. So like, I'm not that great of a flyer. I'm that guy that's like holding on to each of the handrests. Like, all right, got to get through this. Like, I'm the guy that a flight attendant will come up to and be like, "Everything all fine over here?" And I'll be like, "No," and I'm just not. And I get sick on a plane. Like, I'm just. Flying isn't my favorite thing in the world. Like a flight to Melbourne, I can do because you're up in the air for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But like, I'm like, oh, this isn't awesome for me. So like, I try to avoid it like the plague. I'm into a good road trip, but yeah, I just don't feel like we should be that, thousands of feet up in the air.
Oh yeah, and some of those international flights get brutal. Like leaving here to go to New York was like, by the time from when I left my house to got to my hotel in New York, it was like 30 hours. And you just feel disgusting.
Did you have connecting flights or did you get...
Like I had to go to Sydney, then I had to go to LA, then I had to go to New York.
Okay.
So you have like, what's that?
Layovers.
3 flights. And it's just like, you go mental. You can't sleep because it's the way over there. So you're like amped up to get there. It is not a great time.
Screw that, Ray. I don't think I could do it. But like, good for you. I'm happy for you. I was looking. By the way, I wasn't like not. For anyone watching, I wasn't just like ignoring Ray. I was like looking at a few things behind me of like, what do I want to like? What is in my space that's something I love? And there's 2 things. But I think I'm gonna go like to get back onto what we were talking about before. I think I'm going to go with this, and everyone's going to be like, this is so lame. It's just a lanyard, and I know it's like a rainbow lanyard. But this was like the only piece that, so a few years ago, for anyone that doesn't know, I am a very, very out and proud gay man, but everyone probably thinks, oh, Josh is like 27 years old. He's been out since he was a teenager. No, I've only been out for a few years. I didn't come out till, I guess, late in life. I was 24, so 3 years ago. And this was in my hand when I made my coming out video. I was, like, holding on to it just for pure just something to... Because I'm a fiddler. As you can see, I talk with my hands. I just needed something in my pocket, sitting on it, in my hand. And this is the one little piece I've kept from when I'm coming out. I know it's, like... boring and sentimental, but this is something that I'll keep with me for the rest of my life. So I was going to talk about my picture. You can see there's a picture up there of me. That's not because I'm like self-centered. I went to Sydney earlier in the year because I got selected by 2K, like the video games, to go and play WWE, the new WWE game early and go and record content. And I got to go to the 2K headquarters. It was fun. But yeah, this is sentimental to me. So this is something in my space that I'll love. Yeah, because like I didn't come out very early in life because that shit is not very easy. So I was 24. So to all the people that like, oh, Josh is if you watch my TikToks or watch my Twitter, I'm very openly gay. But yeah, it's only been for a few years. So yeah, this is something that I'll keep forever. And it's raggedy and old and disgusting. And I bought this a long time ago. Like it was something that I was like, didn't show anyone, obviously, because I don't want to be walking around with a rainbow if I'm not out. But yeah, I just kept on it, and I just had to sit on it when I was making my coming out video. And I know, blah, disgusting, so sentimental and yuck. But yeah, that's something that I'll keep forever, and it just sits behind me. I don't know why I want to keep a lanyard, but it's just something I have.
I mean, yeah, you can't go past that. Mine's going to be... mine's a bit sentimental as well. I got my lovely partner to bring it in. She just dropped it off a bit ago, but mine definitely isn't as sentimental as that, but I love that from you. Mine is this, and if you're not watching,
oh my God, it's Cody Rhodes.
It is a Cody Rhodes figurine, and there is a story as to why I love this so much. Now, as you know, as I've spoken about plenty of times in the hour and a half we've basically been recording this podcast over 2 weeks, I am a father and a separated father, which is tricky at times. Only getting limited time and having an end time on when you see your kids. So my son and me have bonded over Cody Rhodes and what Cody Rhodes stands for and how he's, quite a good role model in ways. And I love wrestling. He doesn't like to watch wrestling, but he loves to hear about what Cody Rhodes does. He loves to listen to Cody Rhodes' song, Kingdom by Downstate. And we listen to that in the car together and we do the whoa whoa every time. But this action figure is magic to him. So every night when he goes to sleep, we put him in front of the TV and Cody goes walkabout during the night and ends up in a different place in the lounge room or in the house, or he's broken into one of his toys, or he's basically like Elf on a Shelf, but Cody Rhodes style. So my son thinks that this is Toy Story come to life, that Cody is actually a person when we're all asleep. And he rings me at night time before he goes to bed to see what Cody's done that day. And it's just like a little something that takes me, or my lovely partner does it for me sometimes as well, if I am doing something else. Just something that just draws him back, and like just a fun little thing that we can bond over. And, it's a stupid little Cody Rhodes doll, but it brings so much joy to him, and in turn makes the time that we get to spend together a little bit more special.
Holy shit, that's cute as all hell. What the hell? Oh my god. I was like, oh, mine's just a stupid piece of cotton.
No, that's...
You light up when you talk. Every time we've even talked off air, you light up when you talk about your son. And I think that's cool as all hell. Especially because you're not, I don't know, I'll never ever try to say what it's like to be a father. I have no idea what it's like. But I could just only imagine not being with your kid every day, and also just like the love that you have, like that's a creature that you made, and it's just like, I have nothing. There's a different kind of love than what you have for anything else in the world. It's, I don't know, you just light up to a different, you're just like a ray of sunshine, if you will. It's just like, it's just cool.
Being a dad's my favorite thing. I'm
It's
not
never
a
been
kid
something
guy.
that I've wanted, but yeah, I've never.
I'm not a kid guy. Like, I'm not a baby person. Like my girlfriend's best friend just had a baby, and she was like, "Oh, we should go see them." And I'm like, "Yeah, no worries. Don't make me hold the kid though."
my cousin just had a baby, and she was like, "Oh my god, you want to come and meet it?" I'm like, "Sure." And I didn't mean that in a rude way. Like, I love my cousin. Me and one of my cousins are like basically the same age. Like, there's like a year apart, and we grew up together. Like, and we're like pretty much like just yin and yang. Like, we just get each other. We're very close in that regard. But she was like, "Yep." Like, this is her third kid, and she's like, "Want to come meet her?" I'm like, "Yeah," but like, what do you do? Like, do you just what? I can't talk to it. It doesn't talk. Like, it's just. There. It may as well be clay, you know what I mean? Like, it's nothing. But like, babies have and someone who more than likely will probably not have kids of my own, or at least probably not biological kids of my own, just for sheer science. That doesn't work that way. But as someone who doesn't really think I'll probably ever have kids, I don't really know what that love is like. There's nothing. Every parent says this to me, like, there's nothing to compare it to.
No.
And that's kind of just something that I don't think I'll ever truly experience. And I'm not trying to be like, poor me. It's not like a pity party. I just mean that from a pure, like, that's just where I am in my head. So I don't know. Like, my sister wants to have kids. Like, she's been married now for a year and nearly 2 years. So like, I guess like having a niece or a nephew would probably try and like at least that little part of me that maybe, you know what I mean? That'd be the closest I really ever get to, you know, that. But because like, not to go too deep into my life here, but my sister married my best friend. So, it's an interesting, it's like literally like Friends, like
Yeah,
with
right.
Ross and Monica and Chandler. Like it's literally that situation. I didn't like it for the first 6 months. It was awful. But now they're like, it's great.
Yep.
But yeah, so like when they have decide to have kids, that's probably the closest I'll really get to, you know, something like that love. But yeah, it's just cool because when you talk about your kid, you just like, boom, like you just like, I could talk about this for hours on end.
Yeah, I probably do as well. Yeah,
It's
it
fine by
is.
me.
It is a weird like feeling to go from like overnight loving something so much that you'd let it shit on you and you'll clean its shit like
Yeah, no thanks.
multiple times a day. Like that's a different kind of love, you know.
I mean, I know it's nothing like this, but I am a big animal guy. I've always had pets, and that's the closest I can understand to it. It's not comparable, but I'm like, I love my cat more than I love life itself. And like, she
Yeah.
shits everywhere, and I will clean it up.
Yeah,
And
correct.
I love her.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Not that I'm comparing a cat to a baby, everybody. I know people will come for me on the internet and be like, it's not the same. Bitch, I don't know any different, all right? So just back off. But yeah, that's cool. And fuck yeah, Cody Rhodes. Why not?
yeah. So
But
maybe
yeah,
I'll put Cody in the background of everything.
yeah, you just have Cody just chilling over there, just doing his thing.
Yeah.
And I'll have my piece of cotton down there, just watching on. But yeah, that's kind of cool that, because like it's easy to say like, oh, I've got this like thing, like there's a football. I love football. Let's talk about that, you know. And there's my picture of me. But like that is sentimental things, is kind of neat because it doesn't mean that like a Cody Rhodes action figure is literally just a piece of plastic to most people.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, everyone's got their little thing that that's just cool to them.
Yeah.
But like, sure, my Paramore shirt, you know what I mean? Fuck yeah,
But
that's awesome.
That's 100% right. Like, I could have, you know, grabbed a whole bunch of things, but I think the point of this is to be authentically ourselves, and, you know,
Ooh, you're using buzzwords. That's we're crossing into a bridge now, aren't we? Let's
Yeah.
just authentic, and we'll start talking about toxic masculinity before you know it.
but you know, so what's the point of going, you know, half-assed and going something just trivial?
Holy
We're
shit, look at
looking-
Cody. And if you're watching this, everybody, for those that aren't watching this on the podcast version, but Cody's just chilling in the background, just like hovering over Ray's shoulder, and he's just like watching in.
Yeah.
You know, he's just listening into the conversation. It's
It's-
kind of better that you don't have anything else in your background except that.
Yeah. So what do you want to talk about?
Literally.
Yeah.
He's just chilling. That's awesome.
Now,
But yeah, so we went this it's cool that like I said, it's cool that we went the sentimental route cuz I could have gone comedy, trust me.
yeah,
There's
same.
plenty of things in this house that I'm like, now why is that here? Well, not that way, but you know what I mean.
Definitely.
Whoa.
I could, yeah. There's some things in this household as well that just don't make sense. We bought this place last year, and the people have had it since 1995 and done a lot of the work themselves.
Hey,
And
it's my
like-
year of birth. There you go.
There's a bar back there, just in there. There's a bar.
I can kind of see in the darkness.
Yeah, and it's got a car radio installed into it, but with a cassette player. So
I don't know if that's cool or annoying. I don't know yet.
yeah,
I'm
I
undecided.
don't really know. We don't use it as a bar, so. But yeah, I mean, let's talk about something different because we went all sentimental. Let's finish off with a light-hearted. Are you a sweets or savoury guy at the bakery
At the bakery.
or in general?
Usually I'm a savory guy. Like I'll pick a packet of chips over a chocolate bar any day.
Ooh.
But specifically to actually even at the bakery, I'll go for a meat pie over a donut.
Okay, if we're talking savouries at a bakery, me and my girlfriend have this argument all the time. Are you ever purposely buying a pasty?
No.
Correct. Correct answer.
I will only eat a pasty if it's A, homemade, like a pasty pie of some kind, or if someone went to a bakery and I just said, get me whatever, and they just brought a pasty back, I'd go, sure, I'll eat it.
And then you wouldn't be friends with them afterwards.
Probably not. Like, I might even spit it on them at one point. But, like, I wouldn't purposely go to a bakery and be like, yum. There's a sausage roll, there's a pie, and then I'm just going to get the pasty. No.
Yeah, it's...
What even is a... To you, what is, like, if you bite into a pasty, what do you want to see?
Well, a pasty to me is just like a misshapen veggie pie. Really.
See, a pasty to me has meat in it.
Okay.
Of some kind. But it's majority veggies.
Okay.
Like, veggies are the main star, but there's some kind of, like, pork or something in it.
Yeah, right.
No? Am I wrong about that? I don't
guess
know.
there is
I don't really...
mince. I don't really know.
Yeah, it's got
that
some kind of like a
against them.
mince, but it's not like, because it's not the star of the show, you know what I mean? It's like, a carrot. Like, I'll just go and eat a carrot if I want a carrot.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, and then it's just got pastry around it. Like, just get a meat pie and it's just going to be so much better.
Yeah, I have a feeling that if I'm speaking loud enough right now, my girlfriend could be standing outside that door ready to attack me as soon as we finish. But she's a big pasty fan.
I don't know if I've ever met... Yeah.
She's a big pasty fan. And...
Maybe...
my cousin as well was like, yeah, pasties are the go. And I'm like, no, they're not. You go in a pie, and a good sausage roll is hard to beat. A bad sausage roll...
A good sausage roll is hard to... Yeah, but then an average meat pie is so much better than an average sausage roll. But a great sausage roll is better than a great meat pie.
Correct.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes 100% sense.
So sometimes I will go for the pie because in general, a bakery will know how to make an okay pie better than they can make a great sausage roll.
Yes. But if they do a great sausage roll, you're only getting the sausage roll.
Exclusively. And I will pay any amount of money for that sausage roll. Yeah. If you're getting a pie though, are you just like plain meat pie, or are you getting like a chunky steak pie? Are we talking like some kind of like other variation? Because I'm usually like chunky steak. I'm like, yep, all right, cool.
I'm an absolute slut for a gimmick pie.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, don't tell me you like a butter chicken pie.
No. That's
okay.
That's outrageous. Right. But like a
like a bacon and cheese or something.
Yeah, steak, bacon, cheese, perfect.
Potato pies are always good. I mean,
yeah. Bakery on O'Connell did a couple of weeks ago. They did like their pie of the month was like a slow cooked beef braised in like red wine and whatever. Get that into me. Then the Port Elliot Bakery one month did a bangers and mash pie where it had like sausages, gravy, and potato.
I don't know about that.
Was some of the best pie to ever hit the lips of hardworking Australians. That was good.
You may have lost me there, but yeah, I'm in general though. I'm a bit of a hoe for a bakery. I'm not gonna lie.
A good bakery is hard to beat.
We have a bakery here. Again, small town things, but we actually have a lot of bakeries around here. But there's one that's right on the beachfront. My God, then I swear this is like the most bakery thing ever, but they're never fucking open. Yeah. But when they are, bitch, they are packed out, and you got to get there right before lunch. Otherwise, you ain't getting the pie you want. You ain't getting the. They do like big like log like fruit buns and one of those bakeries that will just like they just have. You know when you see shit wrapped in Glad wrap. Shit is going to be good. Yeah. You know that you're about to get something extraordinary. And, like, it's expensive and it's a good time. And,
You know what? Ooh. You know what a bakery does better than anywhere else? You cannot get this better than at a bakery is a Lamington. A big square block.
I don't like Lamingtons.
Oh, stop it.
Coconuts. I do not do coconuts.
Yuck. I don't usually do coconut. Yuck. I don't usually do coconut. But when it comes to a big old block of Lamington, I'll do horrible things for one.
Ugh. I don't really do. I'm gonna piss people off. I don't do Lamingtons. I don't really do hot cross buns.
Oh, you know what the best hot cross bun combination is? a chocolate chip, hot cross bun, butter, bacon. Close it over.
Bacon?
Yes,
Now,
bacon.
okay. I feel like I was getting on people's bad sides by saying I just don't do hot cross buns. You're throwing bacon on this thing.
Yeah, Canadian bacon, salty, sweet. Bacon goes good with sweet things. So the chocolate
Yes,
chips.
okay. I'll throw bacon on some pancakes, sure.
Yeah,
Bread,
yeah,
it's a bun.
yeah. It
Right.
is.
I'm not gonna. There's some things in this world that I should say you don't knock it till you try it, but
It is some good, honest food. I mean, you can feel
yeah, but
yourself
hot
dying
cross
on the
buns,
inside,
not.
but
Yeah, you're having a heart attack as you eat it, but like go off. But
yeah,
I don't know. Hot cross buns, lamingtons. I hate an Anzac biscuit. Get in the
Oh.
bin. Ick. Ick.
I love an Anzac biscuit at the right time. Just every now and then, it's just good. But I like Subway cookies. I really love soft cookies.
Oh, hey, my first job, I worked at Subway.
Yeah, right.
It was my first job. I was a sandwich artist, as they call them. I was 15.
Yeah.
Getting paid no money. I used to purposely underbake those things because they tasted so much better when
Yes.
they're too hard. They're gross. But like a double choc chip or an M&M Subway cookie, delicious. Nothing better in this world when they're straight out of the oven and they're soft and they're good. Oh my God, a Subway cookie. I mean, there's not a lot that can beat like a good Subway cookie. I mean, Subway's not something I actively seek out, I will say. If I want like, like a takeaway lunch, like a fast food lunch, I'm not really going to go and get an $18 sandwich. I'm not going to lie.
I do something a few times at work because it's probably the closest and best option because, you end up just eating shit all the time.
Yep.
So, yes, I get it more often than I'd like to admit, but there's just been opened a good panini
Subway.
place down the road from work,
Ooh.
but it's way too expensive. But it does some good stuff. Good
Everything's
stuff.
so expensive, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of everything being so expensive. Like, I just take my rice cakes to work and be depressed every day. That's just the way it is.
We love going out for brunch. I feel like I need to give my girlfriend a nickname instead of just saying my girlfriend all the time.
My girlfriend.
I gotta call her. On a previous podcast, I called her Baser because Ray and Bay. So let's call her Baser.
Okay.
Let's call her Baser.
Baser.
So
Baser, that'll catch on. I can see that happening.
I
don't have a significant other. I just have my cat, and I don't really need to protect her privacy. She's a cat, so we can just call her. Well, her name is Giddy, but she's getting old, so I call her Judy. So we'll just call her Judy on here because she's an old lady.
Yeah, all
Hell
right.
yeah, Judy.
Baser
I have my cat.
Baser and I like to go out for breakfast, or we love going out for food. Food is like
I love going out for food.
I
There's
love
a
new
friend of
food.
mine that I can always count on where I can just message her and be like, you want to go get some lunch? And she's always like, hell yeah. She's that one friend where I can just know that I can go out and get lunch with because she's just like, I'll go anywhere. Because I'm just like that. I like the scenery. Like I said, I live right by a beach, so we have a lot of like beachfront cafes. It's pretty neat, like just to be able to go and sit, especially as we're coming into warmer weather now, just being able to sit outside. You look around, it's just water, and then you just get bitchin' food.
Yeah, one of our favourite places is a Spanish restaurant in Unley, and they do a feed me menu where you just choose the flavour of paella you want and tell them if you're allergic to anything, and then you sit there and the chef just feeds you until you cannot eat anymore.
Hell yeah.
And
Oh
you
my
don't
God.
choose anything. They just cook you whatever they want to cook you. And it is
I'm not mad at that.
amazing. You
I
just
love
have
food.
something different every time. You end up like eating so much that you feel sick, which is so good.
I love that feeling though.
Yeah.
You know when you can't take another bite, you're like, it's happening. If I take this bite, it's coming out the other way.
Yeah.
It's just like the best feeling. I know we're gonna wrap up in a minute, but Is there anything better in the world than like a good pub snitty? Just while we're on the
Oh.
subject of going out.
I do love a pub.
If you go to a pub though, like 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get a snitty or a palmy or something like that.
Yeah, I'm big into play to the strengths. Like, you're not going to go to a pub and get a good curry.
No,
Don't
go and get
try.
a snitty with gravy. Like
Correct.
just like, but chicken or beef is the bigger question.
I change it up all the time.
I'm always chicken.
Look, 80% of the time it's chicken, but every now and then I can be swayed to a beef.
But are we plain gravy?
Depends again. I do a thing, and this is going to sound absolutely chaotic to you.
Oh no. Well, I don't know if anything could be as chaotic as last week when you said you just fill up your car until you just go, yeah.
I did it.
I tried to do that last week, by the way. I drove back around. I was like, no, this isn't right. I'm filling up my car.
I did it last night, actually, on the way to record the project. I think I got like $34.
Shout out to the Crojack, by the way. Everyone go listen.
Yeah, we love the project, except for that Ray guy.
too.
Yeah. So I oh, what was this? Oh, yes. When I go out for dinner times, sometimes if I go up to order, or if they take my order, I don't decide until whatever comes out of my mouth comes out of my mouth. I just say the last thing that I think of.
You play life in such a wild manner. If someone asks me for dinner, I'm thinking about that shit for 3 days. I'm like, oh, mainly because my anxiety is like, oh, I've got to have a script ready when this person asks me what I want. But like, I'm not swaying my $30 that I have to spend on this on just pure thought. I've got to like, you live life like it's a game of I can't. Yeah. It's crazy.
You never know what you're going to get, though. And it could be the best thing you've ever had.
That's the point. I don't know what I'm going to get. And I'll, like, sit there. You talk about me having to take 4 pairs of underwear. Wonder why, because I'm going to shit myself if I get something that I hate.
Well, one time I did order fish and chips, and I don't really eat fish. But, I got through it. It was fine.
It's just, if I go to a pub, it's a chicken schnitzel with plain gravy. Hold that salad. I don't need it. Give me chips, and I'm good.
Yeah. I mean, most of the time that comes out, but every now and then, you never know what your mind's thinking.
Jesus, I would just... One day when we meet in person, I'm going to try and live like you. I'm just going to go to the pub for a meal with you and just be like, I'll have the mushroom salad or something, and then be just depressed about it. What the hell?
No, well...
Holy shit.
I wouldn't say living life like my way is the best. Like, I mean, I've had my lumps.
I like how we are very different people in that, like, I overthink something so much where I can't get out of my ways, and you underthink it so much that you find yourself in ways where you're like, I don't even eat fish, but I'm going to eat this.
Yeah. I mean, like, so me and Beza are going out to brunch with one of her friends on Saturday morning. Now, we have been to the place before, not for a long time, but I would be pretty confident that she's looked at the menu already.
Oh, I'd be the same. I'm on her team every day of the week. If that's what I would be looking it up. I'd be looking up reviews, be like, oh, what's the chips like? Oh.
Yeah, nah. I'll just play what I see in front of me. I'll just play eyes up footy and go from there. See what happens.
That is a frightening way to live. I like literally am a little jealous that you can do that, because I wish I could do that as a person, but that is a dangerous game to play.
Yeah. What's the worst that can happen? You get a bit of omega-3 eating fish.
Sure. I mean, yeah.
I mean, the later on it's got in my life, like, my body's starting to turn on me. So, like, my favourite food in the world's peanut butter. But I've developed a peanut allergy in the last, 4 years.
Oh, yes. I was allergic to peanuts as a child and then kind of grew out of it.
But mine's getting, progressively worse, so I've stopped myself from eating peanuts. But, every now and then I'm like...
Peanut butter?
I could
That's
risk
your
it for
favorite thing in the world.
I could risk it for a Reese's Buttercup right now.
That's fair. No, I understand that. I'm lactose intolerant, but you think that stops me from eating cheese?
Yeah.
Hell no.
I'm like partially lactose intolerant as well, but that's just a later in life thing again. It's my body turning on me.
Yeah, your body just says no more fun for you.
So now I drink black coffee with no sugar.
I drink oat milk.
Yeah,
like
I
a
do love
true-
an oat milk.
Like a
every now and
true
then.
piece of shit that I am. I go to a coffee place and I'm like,
Yeah.
oat milk, and then they charge you 65 cents extra, and you're like, oh, look at me, I'm so bougie drinking my oat milk.
Yeah, I usually
I drink oat milk.
long blacks, but if I go to a cafe, I'll get an oat latte with a shot of caramel in it for a bit of
Oh,
sweetness.
jeez, look at you, bougie Ray over here
Yeah.
with his shot of caramel.
Yeah.
God,
But other than that, it's
just two guys living our lives. You're just living life on the edge, and I'm living life so far away from the edge that I'll never even see what's on the edge.
I don't even think I'm living it to the edge. I'm just living recklessly to some point. Like in other ways, I'm very sensible, but it, like I don't drink very often, and people are like, "Oh, why don't you drink very often?" I'm like, I make dumb enough decisions while I'm sober. I don't really need.
I'm not a
that.
big drinker either. I drink like 2 times a year. I'm not
Yeah.
a drinker either. So, I get sick from it. So I just don't. What's the point? Like I can be an idiot. I have enough energy usually if I need it, to not need alcohol. But you know, here and there, I don't mind a cider here and there. I'm not saying I'm never drinking. I'm just saying that I don't really get drunk.
Yeah, nah, me either. Really.
It's boring to me. You're just gonna get sick, get a hangover, and then not be able to do anything for a few days. Like, what's the point of this? But like, do what you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't have a
mind when
problem with
people
it,
drink.
but-
Yeah, me either. Do what you want. Whatever you do to have fun, just don't bother me. I'm happy.
Exactly.
Do what you want, everyone.
That's right.
In all, the point of this show has been do whatever the fuck you want, because I truly don't care.
Nah, me either. I always am like that. I'm like, yeah, it's, what is, who was it? I was watching something the other day, and they were like, if you've got a problem with me, ring me. If you don't have my number, we're not close enough for you to have a problem with me anyway, so.
Tom Holland said that.
Yes,
I
that's what
believe.
I was saying, yeah.
Tom Holland, yeah, he said that in some interview or something, and I was like, huh.
Yeah,
I like
liked
that.
it.
Yeah, I like that a lot, because if you need my number, you'll have it.
Yeah, exactly. So,
And if you don't need it.
exactly.
So, all in all, that's where we are. But yeah, cool. I will say, while we wrap this up, I said this to you, I don't believe I said this at the start of the show. I believe I said to you this before we started recording, but this will come out on Friday morning. So tomorrow night, go Giants. As us, as Crows fans, go Giants. We've got no skin in the game for the AFL finals.
No.
Go Giants.
No,
Why
I
not?
just like good footy now. Good,
Yep.
close football games.
Yep, it's so nice being so far removed where I want someone to. I have a preference of who wants to win, but by the time that final siren airs, I'm like, oh
It doesn't matter.
well, on to the next.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, if the Crows were in the finals, me and Ray probably would having a very different conversation.
Correct.
But yeah, go Giants. Go the orange team. I'm all about it.
Yeah, go the orange
Big
team.
Giants stan. Yeah.
I mean, I think Brisbane are in the box seat, but
I still think it's honestly Collingwood, but that's just me. But
Yeah.
it's like 1A and 1B, isn't it? It's like,
Correct.
well, it's
yeah, they got the
But
advantage.
change it up. Let's have the Giants win.
Yeah,
Honestly,
why not?
there's only 2 teams I really truly don't want to win, and then the rest of them,
Is it Port
and
Adelaide?
everyone
Carlton?
can make. It really is. I was gonna say you can probably guess who it is, but yeah, it's Port Adelaide and Carlton. Other than that, do what you want. I really couldn't give 2 shits.
Yeah, definitely.
2024, here we come. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
But anyway, we won't talk too much about football on this show. I'm sorry, everyone, but I just had to get it in there because go Giants and all that. Big sound and all that stuff.
Yeah, correct. And yeah, well, yeah, that's another episode done. That took some turns. That was
Yeah,
like a
what
roller
the hell?
coaster. That one.
Yeah.
but it was good. Follow our
Yeah, and
socials.
I've got everything set up. You can follow us on I'll have it all in the you'll see it in the I've got like a link tree set up for everybody. So for anyone that doesn't know, I can keep the spark alive for a little while, but you probably know by the way that I tweet anyway. I am running the socials, guys. So if it's probably pretty obvious. But yeah, I've got a link tree set up so you can go follow us on Twitter or X. And you can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and YouTube. So if you want to watch us, you can just watch us on my YouTube channel, or you can listen. It really doesn't matter to us. But we did get a lot of people saying that they liked the first episode. So now we actually got to put some gusto into this. And I don't think we didn't really go too deep on the last episode. It was all just kind of like haha, whatever. So
Stuff,
this is what we wanted. We want to kind of I'm not saying we just want to talk about sentimental things, guys. Calm down. We're two fucking morons. But
we did just talk
we
about
just
me
wanna,
guessing what I'm going to have for dinner as I order
exactly.
it.
So we want to have just a good time every week. So that's what. So thanks for whoever listened to the first episode, and I hope you've enjoyed the second episode just as much. It's hard to come up with the sequel episode, isn't it? The follow up to the debut is just, ooh, you know.
As I've
There's some
always
pretty crappy sequels in our lives, so
yeah,
oof.
correct. Big Mama's House too. Martin
Miss
Lawrence,
Congeniality too.
yeah,
Oof.
Martin Lawrence, you did that to us. But I've always said, if you like us, tell a friend, and if you don't like us, tell two people you don't like, and it might ruin their day, or they might like us. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm all about it. So yeah, I'll have all the links to our stuff in the description wherever you're listening or watching, and you can follow us on. Follow Ray on Twitter, guys. Trust me, just follow Ray. Tweets a lot. He definitely does. Just tweets so much more than I do.
I mean,
Ooh.
yeah, the ratio would be a bit off there. But
Perhaps.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anything you want to, I guess, and go listen to the Crowjet and stuff too. You can find, if you just want to hear Ray talk about football.
I don't really talk about football on there much. I mean,
You're kind of like you just kind of like chime in.
Yeah, I kind of just make some dirty jokes every now and then. Yeah.
Every now and then, I feel like.
It might be a bit more than that.
The one time I've been on the Crowjet, guys, Ray just kept giving me that look of like, yeah, you said something, and I was like, oh shit.
I've started writing a list of things that I shouldn't. I was going to say but didn't because, cancel. But hashtag problematic. But
We'll do. Well, don't worry. We've got an episode that I know that will be in the works at some point, where it'll just be an after dark episode, guys, and Ray can make all the dirty jokes that he wants.
It's not even that. It's just like some of them are so, just like I don't need to say them.
No, understandable. I have a dark sense of humor when I want to as well. And by the way, guys, I guess comment below and stuff like that, or get at us on our socials about what you want us to talk about, because me and Ray will probably talk about it.
Yeah,
we really
definitely.
don't really care. As long as we have some kind of knowledge on it, or just some kind of an idea.
I don't even
we'll
need
talk
that.
about it.
I'll talk about it. My favorite.
I have an opinion on everything. I am a white male. I have an opinion on everything that no one wants me to say, but I will talk about it.
Correct. My favorite thing to do at work is if two people are having a conversation, like a disagreement, I'll pick whichever side I think will be the most funniest for me to attack the other person with. And if it gets boring, I'll switch sides mid-argument and go from the other side. Oh, my God. Yeah.
You absolute pot stirrer.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Hell yeah. I'm very into it, though. So, yeah, go and follow us on socials. And, we'll be back, I guess, next Friday with more. I think Friday, by the way, is a great day to release this show.
Yeah.
It's just like a nice little conversation piece into the weekend. I really didn't know how to describe that then.
Yeah, it was going somewhere, I think.
It went. That's really what I am. I go nowhere fast.
Yes.
But I get there.
Can't hate that. Yeah.
That's a great way to end this show, isn't it?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
We're going nowhere fast, but we got there. Well, yeah. It's been real.
It's been
real.
great.
Yeah. Follow our
We-
socials. Yeah, you'll find them. And I mean,
You'll find us where
yeah.
you need to find us. We are both two horrible people with lots of podcast experience that do not know how to end a show.
yeah, correct. See ya. I don't know.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
I guess.
I don't know. I'm just gonna press
Deuces.
stop record, I guess.
Bye.
Oh, gosh.